Tonight marks the last time the Speedway Sparkplugs will host a home opener here at Johnson Field. It marks the last time a senior night will showcase the careers of young student athletes who have finally made it to the end of their high school career. However, a football game must be played, and you couldn't ask for a better conference start than what we're going to bring you tonight. A pleasant evening, everyone. I'm John Natale, and the Indiana Crossroads Conference matchups begin tonight here on SCTV as the Speedway Sparkplugs welcome in the Hornets of Beech Grove. And you can see the Sparkplug faithful cheering for their squad as they hit the field for their final home opener, as next year a new stadium will be constructed. Johnson Field will be no more, so all these players, all these coaches, all these fans are saying goodbye to their last home opener here at Johnson Field. The band is in good spirits, led by Amy Mole, the Speedway 500 Regiment, the flag bearers, the cheerleaders, the fans, all ready for what is established as a countrywide phenomenon. Friday night football here in Speedway, Indiana. Some keys to the game. We'll start with Beech Grove. They haven't hit the field yet. They'll be coming out in black uniforms with the orange trim. But the thing for Beech Grove, win in the trenches. They have the leading rusher in the conference so far in Jeremiah Lee. And if they can win that battle up front, that front five, and let Lee do what he needs to do, it could get ugly on the ground versus a Sparkplug. Second, keep the momentum. The team is 1-1. They come off a big win last week, beating Jennings County 46-10. So they got to ride that wave in here on another away game for Beech Grove. Coming out in white uniforms, my mistake. White uniforms with the black numbers and orange trim. And third, open up the offense. They rely a lot on the legs of Jeremiah Lee, so that should allow freshman quarterback Bishop Moore to get some air time and air it out and get something down the lines, some crosses in the middle, because if they can control that line of scrimmage, you can open up play action, and Beech Grove could score a lot of points. On to the Speedway side. Some keys to their victory: a quick start. And their opening loss to South Putnam, found themselves out early 14-0. Were able to come back with some good football, but just couldn't close the deal in a 28-20 loss. And that leads to the second key, is limit the turnovers. 4 turnovers in that matchup. And that really hurt Speedway's momentum in trying to come back to get that win at South Putnam. And then third, keep the foot on the gas. And they definitely did that last week at Owen Valley, as they opened up the scoring table 47-0 on that game. So both teams 1-1. Losing in the opening match, their opening weekend. And then both getting victories, big victories the following week. And now something's got to break. Which team will have a 2-game winning streak heading into Friday the 13th next week? Halloween's creeping up on us early. So excited to be here with the whole SCTV crew. And this will make its way to the ISC Sports Network after we are finished. But enjoy it here as the captains are lined up. Looks like Speedway's going to receive the football. They'll shake hands, good sportsmanship, and we're almost underway here at Speedway. The weather, you couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere. A little cloudy, a little overcast, but the coolness. Felt like the past 2 weeks that Earth had run into the sun. 90-degree temperatures for these players and hot conditions, but this is a cool one for the first weekend of September. Great crowd on hand, almost packed to the brim. And the big news is that Johnson Field, it's their last home season here. Building a new stadium. A lot of memories here at Johnson Field for this Speedway club. Especially for head coach Shane Clampett, now in his 4th year behind the helm of the Sparkplugs, but a Sparkplug for life. Graduated here back in '97. Had coached at Speedway Middle School for 19 years on the hardwood side on basketball, and then finally got the call to come here after Steve Ray. And now he has a winning record, 19-17 in his 4th year here at Speedway. And on the other side, first-year head coach Rayshawn Mosley, who replaced Brandon Winters. It's his first year. His second as a head coach was at Crystal House last year. Led them to a 3-6 record. Coach Mosley, a big football background. He's an Arsenal Tech grad and then started as a D lineman in Northern Illinois for the Huskies and Indiana State. And we are underway here in Speedway. It's picked up at the 30 and over to the 40 on the right side. Got some room. He's down the sideline. He's got some people to beat, but finally knocked out of bounds, but not before a big return by number 8, J-Ron Smith. So excellent field position for the Sparkplugs to start this one off on September 6th, Friday. 7 o'clock kickoff. But that's going to be good. That's going to bring out the Sparkplugs offense led by quarterback Connor Moreland. He can sling it. He leads the conference in passing yards with 333. Works in the shotgun formation. Jazz Coleman in the backfield with him. Here's a handoff to Coleman left side. Busts through the middle and gets about to the 26-yard line. There is a flag. As our officials discuss. And illegal procedure on Speedway, so that'll negate that run and back it up. So we'll do it again, 1st and 15. Moreland and Coleman in the backfield again. Here's a snap. Play action pass and over the middle, but it was dropped by Cameron Biggs. Hit him in the mitts. Just couldn't bring it in. Pretty good coverage. So it'll be 2nd and 15. Ball on the Hornets' 34-yard line after the good return from J-Ron Smith to start things off. An early penalty has the Sparkplugs back. Coleman in motion. In the flat, juggles it, gets the pass, but makes some moves, goes to the middle, and finally taken down to about the 30-yard line. So short of a first down by about 5 yards, but better position. 3rd and manageable 5 than 3rd and 14. So give them 9 on the play. There's a stoppage of play. Illegal shift on Speedway. So 2 big plays. They got the ball in the hands of Coleman twice for positive yardage, but both times he's touched it. Laundry has hit the field and pushed the Sparkplugs back an extra 5 yards. Going to shotgun again. Sparkplugs going backwards on penalties. A snap on the flat. That's Biggs. He's got some room to run. Breaks a tackle. Back to the 30. So they got that yardage back from the previous play to Coleman. And working a short passing game has been effective for the Sparkplugs, but the penalties have hurt. So that brings up 3rd and 4. On the Hornets' 29-yard line. Moreland and Coleman. Coleman in his back pocket. There's a snap. Here's a pitch to Coleman to the left side. Has some room to run. Gets to the corner. Breaks, get first down. Gets tackled, but not before a Sparkplugs first down. Great run by Coleman to the left side. So a good outside pitch to Coleman. Just uses speed there. That's good for a Sparkplugs first down. And their first trip to the red zone on the 15. Now Coleman lined up right behind Moreland. There's a snap. Here's a handoff. Coleman up the middle, breaks a tackle, gets wrapped up and falls forward. Gain of 6 or 7 on a good power run for Coleman up the middle. So Coleman getting a bulk of the work here on this opening drive for the Sparkplugs. Now the ball on the 7. One in the gun. There's a pitch. There's a handoff. And it went up the middle. Everybody kind of got deked by Lucas DeVault coming around. Frankie Wellbrenner in on the stop for the Beech Grove Hornets. But short of first down yardage. It'll bring up 3rd and a long 1 for the Sparkplugs. See which Coach Clampett is drawn up here for the short yardage. One's still in the gun. A quick pitch. Has to turn it up the middle. Breaks a tackle and give him 6. Vincent Jean got the pitch from Moreland. Had to break a couple tackles, but your pure power and speed to push his way forward. Sparkplugs up 6 early here in Speedway. Joey Havlin on for the extra point. Kick is up. And the kick is good. 8 for 9 on the season for Havlin. So in the opening drive, some penalties managed to get the ball in the hands of Jazz Coleman. And then Vincent Jean did the rest on a 6-yard touchdown scamper. Put the Sparkplugs up 7-0 here early in the first quarter. Get to see the Hornets offense for the first time, and the Sparkplugs defense will take control. One important thing about the Sparkplugs team is that Coach Shane Clampett has put it in the hands of his coordinators to call the plays. That time, we give credit to Ryan Buster, the offensive coordinator, and now Joe Stewart will get his shot to line up the Sparkplugs against that Hornets offense. Havlin, kickoff from the 40. Ball is set. Everybody's lined up. And Havlin into it. End over end. And fielded just at the 3. To the right side, straight ahead. Breaks a tackle. He's got some room on the right side, but stepped out of bounds. Good return, though. For the Hornets, number Lacey Stevens. Return to the 38-yard line. We'll bring out the Hornets offense, led by the freshman, Bishop Moore. Big kid, 6'5". Good arm, good mechanics. Coach Mosley's got to be happy he's got this guy for 3 more years after this. But one thing you have to watch out for, though, is just as we saw Jazz Coleman do it on the Sparkplugs side, Jeremiah Lee is a problem in the backfield, number 29. The senior running back leads the league in rushing yards. More thought about it, he's going to take it himself and get pushed out of bounds at around the 33, 34-yard line. Pushed out of bounds by number 6, Mamadou Diallo. Able to get him out. They'll place the ball at the 33. Second down for the Hornets on the 33-yard line. In the backfield, Stevens and Lee flank him. Here's a snap, hand off to Lee. Up the middle, makes a spin move. And then tackled real close to the sticks. We'll see where they mark this, see if Lee got the first down on the carry. The 38-yard line, they'll move the sticks. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets. You see Lee very elusive. That low center of gravity. Also plays basketball for Coach Dion Smith over at Beech Grove. Dual sport athlete, as much of these athletes are that are on the field. Here's a snap, hand off to Lee, right side. Breaks a tackle, still going. Gets to the stick, dragged down right at the marker. Either he got it or he's about a foot short because he knocked down the whole stick. They're going to have to fix that thing. On the opposite sideline. And they'll wait to get that resituated over there, the marker. He actually went out at the 46-yard line. Momentum carried him to the sticks. It'll be 2nd, about 3. Just a beautiful evening here in Speedway, Indiana. Both teams 1-1. The Hornets last year 5-6. The last time these two teams played was at Beech Grove last year, with the Hornets getting a 30-22 victory over the Sparkplugs. Here's a snap. Handoff, that was number 221, but he's dragged down in the backfield, nowhere to go. Saul Hernandez got the pigskin and then just saw a bunch more brown jerseys cover him for a loss on the play. So they'll do it again, 3rd and 3 for the Hornets. Lee in the backfield. Here's a snap. Pitch to Lee. Penalty flag. And nowhere to go. Another loss on the play. Loss of about 3. See what the penalty is. Legal procedure on the Hornets. They'll decline that. So it'll be 4th down, and we'll see what Coach Mosley wants to do. 4th and 5. On your side of the field, offense hasn't left the field. Moore is still out there with Saul Hernandez in the backfield. Now he comes off. It looks like they're going to punt Hernandez on the 36. And we're going to have a timeout. So Coach Mosley wants to talk it over with his young athletes on the 4th and 5. Very tricky situation, as maybe the punting game just doesn't work right for Beech Grove, and scared to do that. But the interesting lineup is on the past 2 plays is that Jeremiah Lee has not been out there. So let's hope he's okay. He took that kind of bang into that marker over on the far side. So hopefully just got a stinger or something patched up and he'll be back on the field, because Beech Grove is definitely going to need him to counter what Speedway has. Both teams break, and we'll get after it at 4th and 5. Looks like Hernandez is still out there for the punt. Jazz Coleman back deep on his 25, 26-yard line. He'll move back a little bit. It's got to be leery here. Hernandez can run the ball. And he kicks it. Southpaw. Coleman under it. Catches it, fumbled. And luckily, a Sparkplugs player was there to fall on it. That was Lucas DeVault, who was in the right place at the right time. Coleman tried to get the running start, bobbled it, fell on the ground. But DeVault was able to gobble up, so it would be Sparkplug football at their 31-yard line. Moreland in the backfield with Coleman. Moreland just this past week took a visit down to Louisville to visit the Cardinals. So he's definitely getting looks. Good frame, 6'1", 205, just a junior. So this is a year of growth. Who knows what this kid can do next year, but he'll have a new facility to show it. 2 in the backfield, Moreland in motion, out in the flat. That's Javon. J-Ron Smith. Smith had the good opening kickoff return. Got the Sparkplugs in good field position. They were moving back on penalties, but then the offense started moving forward. Vincent Jean was able to punch it in from 6 yards to give the Sparkplugs this early 7-0 lead. .5:14 left here in the first quarter. One in the gun. Here's a handoff up the middle. Coleman, he's got some room down the sideline. They're not going to catch him. Just like the Indy 500, he crosses the line. Give Jazz Coleman 6 on a big run down the right side. Once he got past that initial line, there wasn't a white jersey within 15 yards of him, and the speed of Coleman looked like Andretti coming down the front stretch. 13-0, Sparkplugs, Haviland on for the extra point. Referees are huddled about something. Not sure what happened here. Stoppage of play. trying to settle something. I'm not sure what's going on down there. Stoppage of play, but now we're lined up and ready to go. Haviland off his right boot. And I can say boot because he also plays soccer for Coach Dean Haviland, his father, who's here in the stands today watching his son play. The chance at Joey, high snap, but DeVault was able to get it, put it down, and it's good. 14-0 Sparkplugs here in the first quarter. We talked about getting a quick start. I feel like Nostradamus right now. We're up 14-0 with just about 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. John Natali on the SCTV. Happy to be with you this evening. I want to thank the entire crew for putting on this broadcast. So we're going to switch sides again. Haviland will kick off. And the interesting thing that I know the Beech Grove fans range gets to see if number 29 comes back on the field during this possession for Beech Grove, Jeremiah Lee. Had a run to the outside, ran into the line marker, and as they fixed that, Saul Hernandez came in to spell Lee. And a 15-yard penalty was assessed to the Sparkplugs, and I'm sure that on the touchdown you saw that Coleman kind of did a pirouette into the end zone, so that'll be flagged on Jazz Coleman. And I know we're excited. It's senior night, big crowd on hand. Just got to be under control, act like you've been there before. Jazz Coleman has. Now he's got that penalty assessed to him, so that's going to push the Sparkplugs back. And wherever it lands for the Hornets, they're going to get pretty decent field position. Haviland the boot. Short pooch kick. And bounces, and it's fielded to the 40, to the 45, and pushed out of bounds. Lacey Stevens. That'll bring the Hornets back out. They'll go to work on their own 45. Again, good field position because of the unsportsmanlike penalty on the Sparkplugs. That gives Bishop Moore a little bit more real estate to work with, not so much of a condensed field. And the good news is in Moore's left pocket is number 29, Jeremiah Lee. Here's a snap. Handoff to Lee, right side. Cuts back in the middle. And then a gaggle. The Sparkplugs eat him up for about a gain of 3. Dawson Ott on a stop. And a face mask penalty on the Sparkplugs. So that'll move the Hornets up past half field. 15-yarder. So for the first time in this one, the Hornets in Sparkplug territory, mark it at about the 38. Moore and Lee in the backfield. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Moore has a wide open receiver, juggled a little bit. That was Lacey Stevens. Probably could have got more yardage, but started to turn before actually caught the football, bobbled it. It was Lucas DeVault who came up to meet him first. It could have been a big gain, just 3 on the bobble. So it'll be 2nd and 7 for the Hornets. Here's Moore. Lee had to cut back. Now goes the outside. Good tackle. Mamadou Diallo met Lee one-on-one and was able to get to the hips and drag him down. Loss on the play. So now 3rd and a short 8 for the Hornets offense. And Lee felt that. You can see him kind of hunching down a little bit. Diallo got him right at the hips. That was a textbook tackle. Here's Moore, rolls out. Has to fire down the sideline and fires it to nobody. That'll bring up 4th down. Pass was intended for Camarian Edmonds, but nowhere in the vicinity. And that's going to bring out Hernandez for his 2nd punt of the evening. 3:12 left here in the first quarter. Sparkplugs out to an early 14-0 lead. John Natale on the SCTV. The home opener, Sparkplugs versus Hornets. And the final home opener here at Speedway at Johnson Field. Hernandez off the left foot. Gets it over the head. That may find the end zone, and it does. Good hustle down there to try to knock it out, but to no avail. So the Sparkplugs will set up shop at their own 20-yard line. And 2 drives, 2 touchdowns so far for the Sparkplugs. Hornets haven't had any answer for Jazz Coleman yet. So Jerron Smith and Coleman in the backfield with Moreland. Here's a pitch. Smith on the left side, breaks a tackle, gets through, and tackled by Frankie Wellbrenner. Another penalty. Got our fair share here in the first quarter. And it's holding on the Sparkplugs, so that'll move them back 10. And it'll be 1st and 20 from their own 10. So way back now, not a lot of real estate to work with. As mentioned in the keys to victory for Sparkplugs, don't want to afford a turnover here to give the Hornets an opportunity to get up short field. So we'll see what Ryan Buster has in the playbook for 1st and 20. Two receivers near side, one to the right. And in trouble, he had to get rid of it. And it is the Coleman. He was there and breaks a couple tackles. Able to get some yardage back. Connor Moreland was in a heap of trouble and just threw it. And luckily, it fell in the hands of Coleman. I don't think that's how the play looked in the playbook, but nonetheless, get a little bit back. About 4, so it'll be 2nd and 16 from the 14-yard line. Scary moment there. So Moreland now. Coleman moves back. Handoff to Coleman near side, but tackled immediately right at the line of scrimmage. Braden Klein and Dusty Miller both on the tackle. Good closure by the 2 front linemen. Klein a junior, Miller a senior. So now 3rd and 15. Gotta be careful, you don't want to look pass. In motion. Moreland rolls out. Looking for receiver, has time, fires down the field. He's got DeVault, but just overthrows him. DeVault had about 4 steps on Hayden Bonds, but the ball was about 3 yards too far, and that'll bring out the punting unit for the Sparkplugs deep in their own territory. So the Hornets will get good field position again. Jeremiah Lee stands at midfield. Israel Reynoso to kick it away for the Sparkplugs. Take some time off the right foot. And Lee's going to get it at about the 48. Now he's going to try to switch fields, going the other way. Trying to break a tackle, but to no avail. Jerron Smith. It's been kind of a nuisance on special teams. I'm going to date myself here. Kind of a Steve Tasker-ish player. Steve Tasker, just an integral part of those Buffalo Bills teams in the 90s under Marv Levy. As I'm saying these names, I'm realizing that our younger audience has no idea what I'm talking about. So we're back underway with Beech Grove with good field position. Swing pass out to the corner. And again, good closure defense by the Sparkplugs. Wraps up Lee with nowhere to go. That's going to be a loss of about 4 or 5 on the play, depending on where they spot it. Just under 1:30 left here in the first quarter. Sparkplugs up 14-0. And another penalty on the field. We'll see what this one is. Get it eventually. Illegal use of the hands against Beech Grove. They'll decline it because of the loss on the play. So a lose-lose situation there for the Beech Grove Hornets. It'll be 2nd and 15 from the Speedway 47. And off to Lee, and in the backfield was met. Tried to change course, but another loss on the play. The closure defense by the Sparkplugs. Tahibas Shola got in there, disrupted Lee, and then everybody else was able to come in and collapse on it for another loss of about half a yard. So call it 3rd and 15, 3rd and 16. Beech Grove can just get nothing going against the Sparkplugs defense. In the gun. Has some time, now rolls out, has to fire over the middle. Had a man wide open, great catch. And now he's got room to run. Jeremiah Lee with speed to the corner. Touchdown. Give that young man 6 on a broken play. What an effort by Bishop Moore and Jeremiah Lee to connect on that. Moore found himself in trouble, stayed calm in the pocket, and then fired a dart over the middle, a little high, but Lee, using those basketball skills, was able to leap, catch the ball, and find the pylon. That's his 4th reception of the year, and also his 3rd touchdown in the air for Jeremiah Lee. So just about 21 ticks left in the first quarter. The Hornets strike on a 48-yard touchdown pass from Bishop Moore to Jeremiah Lee.
the touchdown. There was unsportsmanlike conduct penalties assessed against both teams. Those offset.
So 2 more unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, both on Beech Grove and Speedway, so those are offset. And that's 3 in this ball game. So the Hornets line up for 2. There's Moore, fires in the flat, and couldn't find his receiver. Incomplete. It's intended for Jeremiah Chisholm. And that'll leave it at 14-6, 8-point advantage for the Sparkplugs, but not before 48-yard touchdown from Bishop Moore to Jeremiah Lee. Cuts the lead to 8. Not sure how aggressive the Sparkplugs will be before the end of the first quarter. Of course, we'll try to field it well on the kickoff, and then we'll see what happens with just a few ticks left here to get to the second quarter, leading by 8, 14-6. It's been a while since both of these teams have, I don't want to say had not successful seasons, but sectional. Beech Grove has never won a sectional. And back in 2000, Speedway was the perennial favorite in their sectional. Their last sectional championship was 2010. And also 3 regional championships, getting the semi-state 3 times. That was under the tutelage of Speedway legend Denny Pelly. 20 years at the helm. Ball kicked on the ground. It was off the Speedway player, but recovered by Speedway. Caleb Fenters was there to pick it up, and with just under 20 ticks left here in the first quarter, we'll see if the Sparkplugs do anything. Heading into the second quarter, up 8. Beautiful evening here in Speedway, Indiana. Great crowd on hand. Senior night here at the high school. Celebrating the cheerleaders, the football team, flag bearers. Elder enters in. H back, Moreland in the gun. Elder in motion. There's a handoff to Coleman. That's going to be held by Moreland. No, that's Coleman now. I got deked on that one. Nonetheless, it's a first down into Hornets territory. They'll move the chains. Still about, well, they'll run the clock, and we'll see if they run a play. Cameron Biggs decided to get an early head start. So a pretty costly mistake before the second quarter. You have a good push by Coleman. And then it's not missed clock management, but Biggs took off and the rest of the team didn't. And that'll end the quarter. So 2 quick touchdowns by the Sparkplugs. And then closing minutes of the first quarter was Bishop Moore to Jeremiah Lee on a 48-yard touchdown that cut the gap a little bit. John Natali on the SCTV broadcast tonight out in Speedway. Glad to have you on board. This game will make its way over to the ISC Sports Network once done. We're live here, SCTV YouTube. Share the link. crew does an incredible job. All the shots that you see, it's a great setup here. We embrace the community, SCTV, so it's a great thing to have for these young athletes to get coverage like this. I'm proud to be a part of it tonight. So we'll turn things around with the ball at the 49-yard line of the Sparkplugs, going the other way after the penalty on Biggs right before the second quarter. So it'll be 1st and 15 with 12 minutes to go in the first half. Sparkplugs up 14-6. Moreland with Coleman in the backfield. And in motion. Coleman, right side. Had to break a tackle. And too many white jerseys to eat him up for a loss on the play. Good closure defense by the Hornets. Now 2nd and 17.
2nd and 17 for the Sparkplugs on the 47-yard line.
There's Ryan Buster having a playbook for his offense. 2nd and 17. Handoff, Moreland backpedaling. Little over to Coleman. He's got some room to run straight up the middle and then taken down at the 41-yard line of the Hornets. Almost familiar. That play almost looks like the jump pass. Very Tim Tebow-ish. During his time at Florida, would drop back and kind of dump the pass over the middle. Coleman was wide open with a lot of real estate ahead of him. Able to cross midfield to the 41. So a 12-yard gain on the reception. And now manageable 3rd for the Sparkplugs. And off to Coleman, straight up the middle, breaks a tackle, lunges forward. Wellbrenner got his legs, but not before Coleman falls forward for a Sparkplugs first down. Just straight power football right up there, right up the gut. Let Coleman do the work. 1st and 10 at the 34 for the Sparkplugs. It's been Moreland and Coleman. Vincent Jean had the first touchdown. And off to Coleman again, near side. Tries to get to the edge. He does, to the 30, and gets taken down out of bounds at around the 23-yard line. Davlon Ross able to knock him out of bounds, but not before a good gain on first down to the near side. And another penalty. My goodness. I should bring some tide in here. There's been a lot of laundry on the field so far in this first half. Almost seems that every time Coleman touches the ball, it gets a good run. It's kind of turn your head and look for a flag to go in the air. Is that good carries? They're nullified by penalties. So we'll start on the left hash mark, near side of the field. Moreland and Coleman in the backfield. 1st and 12. Rollout. Moreland has his receiver wide open. It's Smith. And forget about it. Give him 6. Great design play on the rollout. Give the touchdown to Neymar Har, the junior. His 2nd reception of the season, but it's a big one. And great play design by Ryan Buster. Moreland Nahar. Havlin on for the 3rd time. See if he can make this a 15-point advantage. Kick is up. And the kick is good. Avalon now 10 for 11 on PATs for the season. And the Sparkplugs get the answer back. 21-6. Speedway High School, Johnson Field, the final home opener. The school will host. Right now, Sparkplugs taking advantage of a fantastic crowd on hand. It's senior night. A lot of emotion riding around. I got here a little early, able to talk to some coaches, some administrative staff, and as excited as they are to get the new stadium, a lot of memories here. A lot of these coaches on the Sparkplug side played here. Coach Clampett. Right now, they like what the offense is doing. And with a mistake on defense, Hornets do have 6, but so far an overall good game from the Sparkplugs. Hornets have to answer. Can't let this one get away. Avon will tee it up from the 40. Underway. Little end over end. Ball stopped right in the middle. That was a golf shot with a pitching wedge. Just stopped dead, came a little back a little bit. And fortunately for Beech Grove, Wellbrenner was there. Hornets got to get to work on the 38-yard line. Last possession, it was more to Lee on a 48-yard touchdown. See if they can answer the latest score by the Sparkplugs. Just under 9:30 left here in the second quarter. Handoff to Lee. Got redirected at the line. Now breaks to the outside. Gets to the corner. Gets to the yard marker and pushed out of bounds, but not before a first down. Good run by Lee. Vincent Jean was able to stop the momentum, get Lee out of bounds, but not before a first down. Into Sparkplugs territory for the Hornets. First and 10 from the 48. Moore now redirects traffic. Lee now goes to his right pocket. Here's a snap. Left side. Has a man. It's taken. Now down the sideline. Had some room to run. Good connection to Jeremiah Chisholm. So the sticks move again for the Hornets. DeVault able to knock him out of bounds, but not before another Hornets first down. Trying to answer the last touchdown by the Sparkplugs here on a good drive. Warren Lee in the backfield. Pass over the middle, has his man, and luckily shoestring tackle. Lacey Stevens across the middle, and another Hornets first down. Ball again on the stop and made a good saving tackle. First and 10 on the 29. Hornets moving effectively here. Their first drive of the second quarter. Rolls out, fires to the sideline, and couldn't get a diving receiver. Cordell Martin just laid out, but couldn't get it off his fingertips. And it'll be second and 10.
Second and 10 for the Hornets on the 21-yard line.
Warren Lee in the backfield. There's a snap. And here's Lee. Has to break to the outside. Gets a little room, but not wrapped up good. Good tackle by DeVault. Short gain. Looking at the 15. So 3rd and a long 4 for the Hornets here. Their first drive of the second quarter after the opening drive where the Sparkplugs put it in for 6. An extra point by Haviland has them up 21-6. But the Hornets putting together a good drive here. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 4. And it looks like Coach Clampett wanted to talk that over, saw something he didn't like, called the timeout. Happy to be with you this evening, SCTV. I'm John Natali. Watch us on YouTube on the SCTV YouTube channel. It'll make its way over the ISC Sports Network. It's a great atmosphere here on a Friday night in Speedway, Indiana. You can hear the Speedway 500 Regiment under the direction of Amy Mole in the background. You can just see up in the press box here, you can just see the nostalgia of the fence posts, the wear and tear of the guardrails, but it all has history. It's a great thing to see, and if I'm not mistaken, I think I see a Teletubby on the sideline near us, right behind the cheerleaders. That's interesting. So who knows what's going to happen at halftime. Here's Moore in the gun, has time, and just kind of dumped it off. Not sure. Martin was ready for it. So it's going to bring up 4th and 4, decision time here for Coach Mosley and his Hornets. It's a pretty long field goal. I don't know if Hernandez has the leg for that. They're going to go for it on 4th and 4. And Speedway calls another timeout. There's our Teletubby. So the wind blowing in favor of the Hornets right now. You can see, get a picture of the flag bearers. You can see their flags going that way. Old Glory also up in the air. A lot of wind going that way, but it seems that Coach Mosley is not going to be content with 3 points here. He wants to see if he can get that 4 yards, possibly more. Started to drive good, kind of got shut down at the end here. Let's see what the Hornets bring to the table on 4th and 4. The offense is out there. They're going to go for this. Big stop here. Possible for the Sparkplugs. Lee and Moore in the backfield. Over the middle. Knocked down, but there's another flag on the play. See what this one is. It's thrown immediately during the play. Maybe pass interference over the middle. So that was actually against Beech Grove. And it's declined by the Speedway. So that'll turn the ship around and we'll head the other way. 1st and 10, Sparkplugs. So mistakes mounting up now for the Hornets. We'll give the football back to the brown and yellow, and we'll go the other way. And off to Coleman, trying to get to the outside, breaks a couple tackles. Now he's upfield, and then dragged down by the feet to the opposite side around the 20. Saul Hernandez got Coleman by the shoelaces, able to drag him down. And yet another penalty. My goodness. That's against Beech Grove. I believe it was when Coleman went down. A player came diving after Coleman had gone down after a tackle by Hernandez. 15-yard penalty, big yardage. Now the ball on the 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Sparkplugs. Moreland drops back into the flat. It's complete. Vincent to the left side, near side. It'll be a 1st down, cross midfield to the Hornets 49. But Vincent Jean, who's been effective touching the football this evening, gets a 1st down and into Hornets territory. Just over 7 minutes left here in the first half. Sparkplugs up 21-6. Coleman. Pitch to Coleman. Has to break a tackle, makes his move inside. And whistle's blowing already. Play call dead. I didn't see a flag, but I'm not surprised that one was thrown. So we'll go 1st and 15 from the 46 of Speedway. Everybody check their FanDuel and DraftKings, see what the over-under was for penalties in this one. Take the prop bet. There's been a lot. Moreland now fakes the pitch, looks down the sideline, and great defense, almost intercepted. Davlon Ross got a hand on it and almost brought it down. Pass was intended for Jack Elder. So that'll bring up 2nd and 15.
2nd and 15 for the Sparkplugs.
Will dump over the middle. Coleman has some room to run up the middle. Gets met, still pushes forward. Going to get to about the 42-yard line of Beech Grove. 12 on the play. Actually give him 11. Now it makes it a manageable 3rd and 4 on the Hornets side of the football field. Two receivers to the near side, one to the right. Coleman and Moreland. Here's Coleman, straight up the middle, power football. Don't think he got enough for the 1st down. Yard or two short, we'll see where they spot it. On the 41. It'll be 4th and 2. And they're going to go under center here. trying to draw him off. Old tactic and another penalty. It's a delay of game. It is. So that'll push it back 5, and we'll see if that brings in the punting unit. Maybe that was planned, I'm not sure. I didn't see Moreland come off the field, so are they going to go for this one too? 4th and 7. Moreland and Coleman in the backfield, so a little risky here. That pushed back 5 yards. Will give the Hornets great field position if Sparkplugs don't capitalize. Here's Moreland now in the gun, has time, has to scramble, and he's taken down. Big defensive stop, CJ Small. Injured player on the field, Deshaun Williams on the ground. Hope that young man is okay. On a risky move. Moreland just had a little time, but CJ Small, his 2nd sack of the season. The junior, good size, 6'2", 195, able to come from the left side of that defensive line and wrap up Moreland for the sack. Not only that, puts the Hornets on the right side of the field in Sparkplug territory. 4:51 left here in the first half. Gorgeous Friday night, September 6th. Dog days of August have hit this city hard over the past few weeks, but you couldn't ask for a better night of weather in football than we have here tonight in Speedway. Celebration, a home opener, coming off a 47-0 win at Owen Valley last week. Hornets coming off a victory too. 46-10 at Jennings County. After this, the Hornets will head back to Beech Grove and host the Crusaders of Cecina next Friday. And Sparkplugs will be back here. That's a pretty intense rivalry game against Cardinal Ritter. The Raiders, that'll be a good one. SCTV will be on it. So right at midfield for the Hornets. After the sack by Small, now they're in control. Here's a snap, drop back, right side. Caught complete to the 45 and tackled at the 42-yard line to Cordell Martin. Good chunky yardage on first down. It's about 2nd and 2 for the Hornets. Clock ticking, approaching 4 minutes left here in the first half. It's 14-6 after the first quarter. Sparkplugs have a touchdown here in the second. Over the middle, has his man, and a spin move, couldn't bring him down, and he's still on his feet. Lacey Stevens caught it at the 35. A game of bumper cars over there. Stevens stayed on his feet and ended back up at the 35. So give him 7 on the play. It'll be first down for the Hornets.
First and 10 for the Hornets on the 35-yard line.
Moore with Lee behind him. Hand off the Lee. Gets to the outside. And grabbed by a jersey and nowhere to go. Good tackle by Mamadou Diallo. Just grabbed the jersey let his teammates help him out. Drag Lee down for a loss of 2. Do it again, 2nd and 11. Get a loss of 1. Warren Lee in the backfield. Roll out into the corner, wide open, and nothing but real estate. Give him 6. Jeremiah Chisholm left wide open on the far side of the field. Just had to trot in past the pylon. Give that young man 6, and now 12 for Beech Grove. And they're going to go for 2, see if they can make this a 1-score game. Warren Lee in the backfield. Clock under 5. Handoff. Moore wrapped up, nowhere to go. So on the second 2-point conversion attempt, the Hornets don't execute on that one either. It's still a 9-point advantage. But a big touchdown. That's 2 long touchdowns. One to Chisholm and one to Lee for Bishop Moore. Bringing his season total to 6. But the Sparkplugs maintain the 9-point advantage. Just under 3 minutes left here in the first half. The wind has been busy here tonight, but it's a comfortable breeze. I think everybody that's here at Johnson Field tonight is much happier with this than they have been the past couple of weeks. See if they win advantage if the Hornets want to get under one here, see if they can push the Sparkplugs back. Cut down the pooch punt. Past couple kicks, but we'll see what we have here with Hernandez. It's Coleman and Jean back deep for the Sparkplugs in their own 15. Hernandez will line it up at the 40. 2:49 left here in the first half. Sparkplugs by 9, 21-12. Another pooch right in the middle. Fielded at the 30. And a gang tackle around the 37-yard line. Jaron Smith on the return. I'll bring the Sparkplugs offense back out on the field. Oliver Goggins, a little weary getting up, but he trots off the field. 2:44 left here in the first half. What do the Sparkplugs have in their playbook? See if they can get a score before halftime. Been pretty efficient on the offensive end. Moreland back. Here's a pitch out to Coleman. Comes to the near side. Gets to the 45, pushed out of bounds around the 46. Be just short. Give him the 47, so a yard short, gain of 9. Be 2nd and 1 at the 47. Clock stops. Coleman going out of bounds. Oh, they'll give it to him. They thought about it. He got enough for the first. It'll be 1st and 10 now from the 47. Moreland into the flat. Caught. Upfield, Coleman trying to make a move, but good open field tackle. Jeremiah Lee comes up in the safety position. You get that. Lee, two-way player, one of the most versatile Hornets on the field. We've seen plenty of examples of that. Second and long. Moreland to the right side. It was incomplete. Intended for Jack Elder, couldn't hold on to it. Now third and long. Stop here could give the Hornets another opportunity to get some points on the board before the half. Cut the gap. Third and 12 from the 45 of the Sparkplugs. Moreland by himself. 5-receiver set. In the pocket. Plenty of time. Now he has to roll out over the middle. That was Gene, but good open field tackle. Frankie Wellbrenner. He's had a nice night. So Gene doesn't even get back to the first down marker. It's fourth and long now. And the punting unit should be coming on. Beech Grove calls a timeout with 1:33 left here in the first half. I'm John Natali on SCTV tonight. Bring you the home opener. Speedway Sparkplugs playing host to the Beech Grove Hornets. The YouTube channel SCTV. And once it's over, the replay will be on ISC Sports Network. Make its way over there. So plenty of ways to see the action tonight. Sparkplugs playing good. But the Hornets, although all the mistakes that we've seen are still in this. This game could have got away from them early, but costly mistakes from Speedway. A few things going their way, and the deficit's 9. So the punting unit does come out. Israel Reynoso. His 32. Jeremiah Lee back on his 25. There's the snap. Punt is away. It's end over end. Very short punt. And takes a terrible bounce for the Sparkplugs. Recovered at the 45. So maybe 13 yards on the punt. So good field position here for the Hornets with 1:25 left here in the first half, down 9. Bishop Moore has been very effective tonight. He's been smart with football. Now looks to throw. Out in the flat, it's caught. And dragged down. They'll probably give him at the 49-yard line is where he caught it. That's where momentum got him. Jerron Smith made the tackle, but not before a gain of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock running now under a minute. Moore's got to go to work. In the pocket. He's going to go long over the middle. And off the fingertips. He's in and out of the hands of Lacey Stevens. And he knew he had that one. He's disappointed in himself. Would have been a big game, but stops the clock with just under 45 ticks left here in the first half. Moore rolls near side. Here's Lee. Has to make a move. He does. He gets some room. He's able to break a seam. Gets to the 47-yard line. Clock continues to run. Beech Grove will call their final timeout. Just under 30 ticks left here in the first half, 4th and 3. Will the Hornets be able to put any points on the board, cut this to a 1-score deficit before the half, or will they go down 9? It's been a flag-filled game so far here in the first half. Both coaches will address that in the locker room at halftime. Be more disciplined, gentlemen. We'll have halftime entertainment, some senior interviews, courtesy of the team at SCTV here on senior night on a beautiful September 6th, Friday night in Speedway, Indiana. See what Coach Mosley cooks up here with 4th and 3. A stop. Jazz Coleman on the field. You never know how quickly he could get to the pylon. So the Hornets have to be careful here. More in the gun. Lee in his sidecar. Pocket out to the flat and caught and out of bounds. That was just simply a timing play to Jeremiah Chisholm. Good for a first down. Stops the clock. Just under 24 ticks left on the 37. So good play out of the timeout from Coach Mosley. Three receivers near side, one to the far side. Moore and Lee in the backfield. Moore rolls to his right. Fires over the middle to the sideline, and it's caught by Stevens. Pushed out of bounds again. That'll stop the clock. And another first down. So Moore getting time. Very effective on the move when he's able to roll out. Big frame, 6'5". And the clock stops. Ball at the 20.
First and 10, Hornets on the 20-yard line.
And just under 19 left here in the half. Moore gonna fire to the corner. And in and out of the hands of his receiver. That was a pretty good ball. As Cordell Martin couldn't get it. That's a second off of Martin's fingertips. But it stops the clock. 12.7 left. 2nd and 10 on the 20.
2nd and 10 for the Hornets on the 20-yard line.
And Speedway call their final timeout. Ball on the 20. Hornets down 9. Decent drive here. Have to be careful because no timeouts now. It's got to be to the sideline because if they go over to the middle or do a run, anything like that, the clock's gonna run and eliminate any chance, any points. So you want to throw it and get out of bounds. Possibly get 3 points, cut that deficit to 6 before the half. Wind is blowing in that direction. So Hernandez could get something on it. Here we go. Moore and Lee in the backfield. Moore pumps, still in the pocket, rolling to his left, fires, and incomplete. Lacey Stevens was out there, but there were a lot of brown jerseys out there as well. Threw it into traffic, luckily incomplete. Under 5 seconds left. Looks like they're going to go for it. This would probably be the final play of the quarter and the half. They will leave him with the wind blowing that direction. Rely on Moore to see if he can't put it in for 6. Rolling. Pressure. And couldn't get it complete to Lee. And with the incompletion, that puts it at 0s. So after a flag-filled first half, the Sparkplugs in their home opener here in the final opener at Johnson Field lead the Beech Grove Hornets 21-12. And we're going to go to our halftime entertainment. Indianapolis 500 Regiment, led by Amy Mole here on SCTV.
Good evening and welcome to your halftime show. Tonight's performance by the Speedway 500 Regiment will be one of the songs from our State Fair Band Day show entitled The Space Between. The regiment will be performing the theme from Interstellar with soloist Alistar Kurtz, a song named Salsa and Chimp, with soloist Aaron Tech and Alviara Inland. In our school song, drum majors are Sabrina Tetmeyer, Sam Goodman, and Angie Hill. Field captains are Alistar Kurtz and Rock Sturgeon. Color guard captains are Link Straub and Evelyn Hinshaw. Thank you, seniors, for a wonderful 4 years, and everyone enjoy the halftime show.
Good evening, sports fans. My name is Tom Smith. I'm along Ron Probst. We've done basketball games. We're talking tonight to seniors who are part of Speedway High School's football team this year. First of all, tell them your name, your favorite class, and why that's your favorite class.
Hi, I'm Toyi Bishola. I'm a Speedway defensive end. I'll say my favorite class is probably weight training, because I get a lot stronger there. But I also think Coach Nami does a really good job with the program and helping kids build up their muscles. And just a really good leader in general. So yeah, I say weight training is probably my favorite class.
Okay. Have you gotten stronger in that class?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to tell me next something good and something bad about Speedway High School.
I say the good thing about Speedway, it was the teachers, the community about Speedway, and you can see it in the schools, because it's a family in Speedway. So I feel you can tell when you come to Speedway, a school in Speedway, it's like a family. They take you in, they accept you for who you are, and it's you really fit in Speedway. So yeah, I also that's the good thing about Speedway. And bad thing, I don't really know about a bad thing. But I guess the passing periods, 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, I say that. That's what the bad thing about Speedway. Yeah, maybe a little longer passing periods. Yeah.
Okay.
There's something in high school athletics called education-based athletics. I'm not really sure you understand what that means, but just to kind of set it up a little bit, you got that half of the building where you learn your academics, and that's going to get you where you want to go in your life. Mm-hmm. But that part of the building, or the fields, the athletic part, is where you learn your other lessons. Once you get your jobs and your careers, those are going to be the lessons that you are going to be able to carry over. Yeah. Tell us something through your football career here, or other sports that you might play, that you'll carry on the rest of your life. Something that's really important that you go, man, I've learned this in football or whatever, and I'll be able to use this.
I feel just being a leader in general, since my time in Speedway, since my freshman year, I feel I've gotten I've become a better leader. So I feel that's just I'm gonna carry that for the rest of my life, because the way they build you in Speedway, it's education and the education and academic aspect. It's good, but I also feel they really do a good job of teaching you about how to be a leader and how to be a man in Speedway. So I feel that's probably the thing I would carry on, how to be a man, how to be a leader in life. So yeah.
Great. What's your any plans next year?
I'm going to college to play football, but I'm undecided about my college right now. And I plan on majoring in sports management. I'm minoring in business, but my college plans are undecided right now.
You got it all planned out. That's a great job.
Last question. 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You kind of answered it just a minute ago, but what's the plan? Obviously, you want to go to college, try to play football in college, which not everybody gets to do. Yeah. But 5 or 10 years down the road, what do you see yourself doing work-wise?
I feel I see myself I really just go with the flow. I really can't say what I see myself doing, because I go with the flow. But I feel I see myself working in an office, a really nice office. But yeah, whatever life's been, I'll go with it in life.
Well, thanks a lot, Dahib, and best of luck Friday night and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Good evening, sports fans. My name is Tom Smith. I'm along Ron Probst. We've done basketball games. We're talking tonight to seniors who are part of Speedway High School's football team this year. First of all, tell them your name, your favorite class, and why that's your favorite class.
Hi, I'm Toyi Bishola. I'm a Speedway defensive end. I'll say my favorite class is probably weight training, because I get a lot stronger there. But I also think Coach Nami does a really good job with the program and helping kids build up their muscles and just a really good leader in general. So yeah, I say weight training is probably my favorite class.
Okay. Have you gotten stronger in that class?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Okay. I want you to tell me next something good and something bad about Speedway High School.
I say the good thing about Speedway, it was the teachers, the community about Speedway, and you can see it in the schools, because like it's a family in Speedway. So I feel like you can tell like when you come to Speedway, like a school in Speedway, it's like a family. Like they take you in, they accept you for who you are, and like it's like you really fit in Speedway. So yeah, I also that's the good thing about Speedway. And bad thing, I don't really know about a bad thing. But I mean, I guess the passing periods, like 5 minutes to go to the bathroom, I say that. Like that's what the bad thing about Speedway. Yeah, like maybe a little longer passing periods. Yeah.
Okay.
There's something in high school athletics called education-based athletics. I'm not really sure you understand what that means, but just to kind of set it up a little bit, you got that half of the building where you learn your academics, and that's going to get you where you want to go in your life. But that part of the building, or the fields, the athletic part, is where you learn your other lessons. Once you get your jobs and your careers, those are going to be the lessons that you are going to be able to carry over. Yeah. Tell us something through your football career here or other sports that you might play that you'll carry on the rest of your life. Something that's really important that you go, man, I've learned this in football or whatever, and I'll be able to use this.
I feel like just like being a leader in general, like since my time in Speedway, since my freshman year, I feel like I've gotten I've become a better leader. So I feel like that's just I'm gonna carry that for the rest of my life, because you know, like the way they build like you in Speedway, it's like education and like the education and academic aspect. It's like it's good, but I also feel like they really do a good job of like teach you about how to be a leader and like how to be a man in Speedway. So I feel like that's probably like the thing I would carry on, like how to be a man, like how to be a leader in life. So yeah.
Great. What's your any plans next year?
I'm going to college to play football, but I'm undecided about my college right now. And I plan on majoring in sports management and I'm minoring in business, but like my college plans are undecided right now.
You got it all planned out. That's a great job.
Last question. 5 years from now.
Yeah.
You kind of answered it just a minute ago, but what's the plan? Obviously, you want to go to college, try to play football in college, which not everybody gets to do. But 5 or 10 years down the road, what do you see yourself doing work-wise?
I mean, I feel like I see myself like I really just go with the flow. Like I really can't say like what I see myself doing, because I go with the flow. But I feel like I see myself working in an office, a really nice office. But yeah, I mean, whatever life's been, I'll go with it. In life.
Well, thanks a lot, Dahib, and best of luck Friday night and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
just before the start of the second half. It's a Speedway Sparkplugs 21 and the Beech Grove Hornets 12 here on SCTV on a beautiful Friday night at Speedway, Indiana. The final home opener here at Johnson Field, as Speedway will be getting a new facility in 2025. It's supposed to be grand, gorgeous, and everything. A lot of memories here, though, for a lot of people on the Speedway sideline. You can see the nostalgia. It was very nice halftime. Our PA announcer, John Derek Carlo awarding the senior band members. And it was the cheerleaders and the football players beforehand. So lots of seniors visiting the final home opener. They'll be here, of course, throughout the remainder of the season. I believe there's 4 home games left, and then the construction machines will come in October, and that will be the end of it. Johnson Field. Lots of memories here. Scoring was at a premium in the first half. Lots of big plays led to big scores. But the concern that has to be on both coaches' minds right now are penalties heading into the second half. There were a lot of penalties on both sides. Costly mistakes, pushing the ball backwards, leading to a couple turnover on downs for both teams. But after all was shuffled through and we got through it, we have a mirror score of 21-12, advantage Sparkplugs. John Natali here on the SCTV broadcast. The fantastic Speedway Community TV crew, the director Brian Pierce, on the camera, Zach Taylor, Bill P., and Ted Howlett, doing a heck of a job this evening on what is absolutely gorgeous. Wind is a little heavy, but we'll take this any day over the scorching heat over the past few weeks. And thank the sponsors, American Legion Post 500, Juncos Hollinger Racing, Speedway Lions Club, Speedway Public Library, and, of course, the IC Sports Network, where this will be after the conclusion and the final whistle. And who will it be? The Hornets down 9. They won last year's contest. 30-22. They were at home. Now they reverse it and find themselves down 9. Both teams looking to improve to a win from last week. Big wins. Beech Grove 46-10 over Jennings County. And Speedway 47-0 over Owen Valley. Sparkplugs will stay here next week to host the Raiders of Cardinal Ritter. If you like rivalries, you'll love that one. That'll be on SCTV. And the Hornets will head back home to take on the Crusaders of Cecina. Friday the 13th. Here in September, Halloween's going to come a little early, be a little spooky. The quality matchups. Some other conference matchups today in Indiana Crossroads. Cardinal Ritter is hosting Monrovia. Lutheran at 2-0 is at Triton Central. And Cecina is at Covenant Christian. Both those teams 0-2. Beech Grove and Speedway 1-1 apiece. Crucial Indiana Crossroads matchup.
Okay, big shout out to the chain gang this evening. Couldn't get it done without you guys. Matt Lamb, Jim Robinson, Martin Gregory, and Mike Starzik. Thank you, gentlemen, for running such an efficient crew.
Talked earlier about the sectional struggles of Beech Grove. They had their last sectional final, never winning a sectional, but their last sectional final, they ran into a buzzsaw, the Dragons of New Pal, and dropped the game 83-20. But they're in a tough sectional. It's basically all the Hoosier heritage, and then Beech Grove gets in there. Greenfield Central, Yorktown, New Pal, Newcastle, Mount Vernon, Pendleton Heights, and Richmond. There's the kickoff. We're underway here in the second half. Ball goes to Beech Grove. We'll start with football. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the Beech Grove 38. Bishop Moore had a really, really good first half. No mistakes, 2 touchdown passes. It's just the penalties have been the bugaboo for the Hornets. Now drops back. Moore slips a little bit, still has plenty of time. Fires down the sideline, right side, and is that caught? Completion to Jeremiah Lee. That's the second time that Moore has put the ball in the air, a little bit obscure, but Lee comes down with it with great hands for a big pickup on first down into Speedway territory. Called a 32-yard completion, 1st and 10 on the 30. Moore and Lee in the backfield. Hand off to Lee. Left side, breaks through the seam, cuts the middle, right side. Nothing but real estate, give him 6. The second touchdown for Jeremiah Lee, this time on the ground. And in 2 plays, Beech Grove gets a touchdown, but there is a penalty on the play, and it's going in favor of the Sparkplugs against Beech Grove. Another costly mistake for the Hornets. And just about as many times as Jazz Coleman has touched the ball for the Sparkplugs and gotten a flag, Jeremiah Lee has suffered the same fate. Negate the 30-yard touchdown run.
After the holding penalty, 1st and 10 for the Hornets on the 36-yard line.
So now 1st and long yardage out to the flat. It's caught but wrapped up immediately on the far side. Lucas DeVault was over there. He's been all over the field this evening. Up 2nd and 14 from the 35 of Speedway. So the long pass to Lee and the touchdown run negated by a holding penalty makes it a long 2nd down. Just underway here in the second half. Rollout, Moore. Some pressure, now he's got to go up to the middle, and he's still going to drag some defenders with him. And they able to fall down around the 31-yard line. Actually gained a couple yards on that run. We have a player down, unfortunately. So we'll stop play and tend to that young athlete. Friday night football, week 3 in the high school season. Both of these teams 1-1, both coming off victories last week, dropping their season openers. Beech Grove just had some trouble at home against Greenfield Central, 50-8. And that when things a little closer for Speedway against South Putnam. But got down early, 14-0, couldn't crawl back, and ended up losing 28-20. Unfortunately, the athlete is able to get off the field, needs some help. I hope he's okay. And we'll get back underway on the field. 3rd and 10 at the Speedway 31. Here's Moore with time, now pressured, and just has to get rid of it. Helmet comes off. Lots of stuff happening on that play. Did he get rid of it? And they said that was a pass incomplete. They're going to discuss that. Nobody really in the vicinity, and Moore was in the grass and just kind of tossed it away. And discussion on the 40-yard line between our officials. Want to thank them. Without our officials, these young athletes cannot play. If you're interested, like what you see, it doesn't necessarily have to be football. It could be basketball, soccer, volleyball, wrestling, track, no matter it, is that refs are needed for every sport in the IHSAA. Just go to ihsaa.org if you're interested in being a referee or an official of some sort.
Penalty marker on the field.
There was a penalty on the play. I'm not sure what the call was. So we're trying to figure everything out up here. Lots of discussion on the field. This is about the 4th time this has happened in this contest this evening. So the ball is placed at the 36 after the penalty. 4th and 16. Folks, I'm sorry. I don't know why we're at this position. I wish I could tell you, but I'm helpless up here. So nonetheless, it's 4th and 16 Hornets. And that'll bring out the punting unit. Saul Hernandez, the southpaw off his boot. Try to pin the Sparkplugs back deep. Jazz Coleman on his 10. And another penalty. That's going to be a delay of game, so that'll push Beech Grove back. Probably intentional.
Delay of game penalty assessed against the Hornets.
A lot of these officials are going to have an ice bath ready after this one. Put that arm in there. Pop a shoulder. How many flags have been thrown in this one? My goodness. Now we'll try to get it away. Ball on at the 40. Coleman at his 10. There it is, left foot. Another good punt. And that'll sail out of bounds, I believe, around the 19. We'll see where they mark it. And right around the 20, 21-yard line. So another short punt for Hernandez. That one 11 yards. Sparkplugs, 1st and 10. Just under 10 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. And off to Coleman, nowhere to go. Good pressure defense from the Hornets. Braden Klein on the stop. Front 4. Well, Beech Grove has done quite well. A few mistakes. I don't want to say Coleman has been contained, but he could have gone for a lot more, but some good up front action from the front four of the Hornets. Apply good pressure. There's Moreland now. Drops. Coleman gets wrapped up. Now he's got to switch fields and back into the middle. That wasn't Coleman, that was Gene. Nowhere to go. Running east and west and not north. CJ Small with the stop. 3rd and 10. Pretty deep in Sparkplugs territory. Moreland in the gun. Coleman to his left. Rolls out near side. He's going to scramble and he'll try to take on a defender. Gave a little body to Adam Klein. Frankie Wellbrenner finally got him out of bounds. Connor Moreland had to make a business decision, ran into Klein. And Wellbrenner pushed him out, but this will force a Speedway punt. Israel Reynoso from his 15. Jeremiah Lee at his 39. And another penalty. Speedway back 5 more yards. And we will try to do this again. Reynoso at his 10. Lee now able to move up to his 45. Punts away. Low line drive. Just sticks in the ground and rolls back to the 35. So the Hornets are going to start with very good field position here. On Reynoso's second punt of this half. Moreland in the backfield. Trying to generate some offense. Cut this lead, which has been 9. About halfway through the second quarter. And handoff to Lee, right side. Breaks a tackle up the middle, makes a little juke before being tripped up, lands around the 15. Excellent running from the conference's leading rusher, Jeremiah Lee. Easy first down. Red zone opportunity for the Hornets. Moore again to Lee, right side. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle right to the goal line. Stopped just short. About to the 1. But another first down. His counterpart, Jazz Coleman, able to take him down. But now, easy 4-down territory for the Hornets to punch us in from 1 yard out. Lee in the backfield with Moore. Oh, bad snap. Moore has to fall on it. And worst case scenario on first down for the Hornets, going to drive them back to the 9. Something you could say that under center, just push it in. He's able to get in there. Moore at 6'5". Just push your body forward. You run the risk of the shotgun. Here's a handoff to Lee, left side. See if he can find the pylon, being chased down. Will he get there? And they gave it to him. He got to the pylon. Jeremiah Lee just used his speed. That's his 3rd touchdown. or second touchdown. Had the pass reception, and then on a run going for 2. And off the Lee up the middle. They get it this time. So 8 points, and now the lead is 1. So Beech Grove on a good drive, good running by Jeremiah Lee. Pretty much did all the dirty work on that drive. Able to punch it in. They execute on the 2-point conversion. And now the lead is 1 for the Sparkplugs. Ryan Buster, Shane Clampin, Connor Moorfield, and Jazz Coleman got to go to work here. Orland and Lee have been quiet in this second half. Haven't touched the football a lot, though. It's been in the hands of Beech Grove. Sparkplugs got to cook something up, got to control that clock, see if they can answer. Now the deficit's only 1 for Beech Grove. They have hung tight in this thing. As many flags and undisciplined mistakes have been made throughout this entire game. Somehow, some way, the Hornets are only down 1. And the Sparkplugs, it looked like they had all the momentum. Just shut down here in the second half. Well, they got to see if they can get something going. Gene and Coleman. Back at their 20. Hernandez from the left side. And this one on the ground. Skips away, and the ball is on the ground. And that could be Hornets football. And it is. That ball was skipped on the ground. Sparkplugs weren't ready for it. Bounced off a defender. Hornets recover. 1st and 10. Beech Grove. Keys of the game for Beech Grove. Keep the momentum. And boy, have they done that here in the second half. Moore with Lee. Drops back, looks left side. Now some pressure wrapped up and dropped for a big loss. Ezekiel Amole got in the backfield, disrupted anything Moore had, and dragged him down for a loss of 9. 2nd and 19. Big sack for the Sparkplugs. You know, a play can get a team going. And that hopefully there have been so many weird inadvertent timeouts and time stoppages in this game. It's wearing me out. But here we go. Here's Moore. Hand off to Lee. Had to cut back. Gets to the 47-yard line of the Sparkplugs. Mole on the stop again. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. 3rd and 7.
3rd and 17 for the Hornets. On the 47-yard line.
Long way to go. Moore in the backfield with Lee behind him. Roll out, pressure. Ball was caught. And he caught. Do not believe he can get back up. The rules are same as they are in college, that if you catch it and go down, you're down. It's Gavin Davis on the reception. And from our PA announcer, once again, penalty on the play. That'll be a decline by Speedway. And 4th and about 14. Offense is out there. They second guess it. They'll bring out Saul Hernandez to punt this one away. Jazz Coleman, the stop that they needed. And stop the bleeding here that the Hornets have caused here in the second half. Hernandez off the left foot soccer style. That's going to take a good bounce if they can get to it, and just gets into the end zone. You see that a lot now. Wild kick, just kind of float out to the left and kick it as you were kicking a free kick from the 18. That ball just had a little bit too much heavy foot on it and got to the end zone. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Sparkplugs at their 20. We've been quiet offensively here in the second half. Just over 5 to go, 21-20. Can Connor Moreland do with Jazz Coleman and Vincent Jean involved? Coleman gets a carry up the middle, drags a few defenders, gets 7 or 8 on the first down carry. Good first down yardage from a senior running back. Shane Klampa just couldn't say enough good things about Jazz Coleman. He's received an offer from the Rockets over in Toledo. Great classroom kid. He's one of those overall good student athletes you just love to have on your team. Team leader. Gets a handoff again, pushes his way forward. Line trying to help him. Minimal gain, if any, on the play. Approaching 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Give him 2. So 3rd and short. Sparkplugs need a first down. They need to get some momentum here on the offensive side of the ball. And off to Coleman, good idea, gets it, a few more, and they'll move the chains. Gets to the 34-yard line, good enough for a first down. Sparkplugs keep the football, get another 4 downs. Talked about the Hoosier Heritage sectional that Beech Grove is in, with the exception of Richmond. Speedway is not an easy one their own, sectional 29. Here's Moreland will get the players a pitch to near side. Coleman tries to make a move, trying to get their stiff arm, and we'll have a flag. I have an idea, but I don't want to speculate what that flag is, so we'll let our referees decide what it is. Push the ball back once again, 10 yards. But in that sectional 29, it's Cascade Tri-West, Crawfordsville, Guerin Catholic, West Vigo, Indianapolis, Washington, and Hamilton Heights. So no, not a real easy path there either. But Speedway does have 8 sectional championships to show for it. Moreland rolls out. Wide open in the flat. And he breaks a tackle. He's got some real estate. Can he break through? He gets tripped up at the 27, but not before a big gain. Davion Ross saved a tackle. Vincent Jean caught it in space and just had to break 2 defenders. Couldn't quite do it. But 1st and 10 on the 25 for the Sparkplugs. Moreland, Coleman up the middle. Wrapped up for about a gain of 3 or 4 on the play, be second and long. It's a crucial play for the Sparkplugs. It was Amole who made the big play on the defensive side. The last series on the big sack. And that play right there, the big completion from Moreland to Jean, would be the spark plug, no pun intended, that Speedway needs in this drive here. Puts points on the board. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Speedway driving. Moreland keeps it himself up the middle, has some room, good. Good draw there. On his own, Moreland. Everybody clear out. And he'll come off. Moreland will. Or no, he's just coming to check the play. He's a fighter. Vincent Simpson enters in for Speedway. Some more speed. 5'9" junior. And off to Coleman. Breaks a tackle, but getting wrapped up. Minimal gain on the play. Approaching a minute left here in the third quarter. Sparkplugs hanging on a 1-point lead. Haven't scored in the second half. Beech Grove has. Executed on the 2-point conversion to give them 8. Moreland under center. Only behind him. And off to Coleman, right side. Breaks through the tackle. Breaks a tackle, and he gets. There's a penalty on the play.
There's a penalty marker on the field. Initial indication is holding against Speedway.
Another holding penalty on Speedway to negate that run. It's been kind of the theme throughout this one. Coleman gets a good run close to the end zone or gets into it. But a penalty negates it, so we'll do it again, just further back. I have a feeling that come Monday at practice, discipline will be on the radar, both Coach Mosley and Coach Clampett.
Second down for the Sparkplugs on the 21-yard line.
Second and long. Moreland just fades back. He's got Jean. Jean makes a couple cuts over the middle. And he'll get back to, believe, the first down marker to make it 10 again. Let's see where they spot it. Did he get back to the original line of scrimmage? And they may wind this clock down heading into the fourth quarter. And they will. They're just going to let this one run out. Each team will head to the sideline. And we'll head to the fourth quarter. The Sparkplugs clinging to a 1-point lead after the score by Beech Grove in that third quarter, 21-20. Here in the final home opener at Johnson Field here at Speedway High School. John Natali on the call. Happy to be here on SCTV. It was a pretty sloppy third quarter for both teams. Beech Grove did get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to close this to a 1-point game. And we talk about rock star status in the business, and we have one with us here. JP Claiborne, the president, or not the president, the principal, my goodness. The principal of Speedway High School joins me. How you doing?
Doing great. Our president, actually, Jim Murley, is right here to my right.
So I was close. I had everybody in the booth. I just had names mixed up. JP, I first want to ask you about the emotion of what today is. You know, it's the home opener. It's senior night. You got a great crowd on hand. You're playing a division rival, Beech Grove, but it's the last one at this field. And how many memories have been shown in this? What's been the ambience of the administration knowing that this is the final home opener here at Johnson Field?
Well, I think it starts with this morning we had Operation Football come and visit, and we had more than half of our student body show up.
Wow.
At 6:15 in the morning. You know how hard it can be to get out of bed and to get teenagers to school early. We have enough trouble on time, but to get here that early, full of spirit, really excited. It was a great showing, and that really set the tone, and it's a memory that they're all going to remember. It was great, and it's really a reflection of our community and the school spirit that our students have.
Moreland fumbled and fires it to the back corner. And was that ball caught? It was. Moreland had to figure it out. Ball got a little bit miscombobulated, but was able to fire it down in the corner. And Jazz Coleman was there to eat up just a perfect dime. All right, JP, well, I guess that you're up here and they score on one play that they do while you're up here. I think you're up here for the rest of the fourth quarter.
I'm staying. Yep.
Great play by Connor Moreland. Haviland on for an extra point, but fumbled and just couldn't do anything with that. So execution on the extra point is going to keep this at 7 points. And we've seen it time and time again. Little mistakes like that can be costly, especially here in the fourth quarter. Here with J.P. Claiborne, the principal of Speedway High School. So outside of, J.P., the memories and everything that you have as yourself and just the history, you think of Coach Clampett, going back when he played on this field and a lot of his staff played on this field. What is the excitement knowing that those dozers are going to come in, the big yellow machines, you're going to see it go, but that excitement knowing that a new facility is going to be here come 2025?
Sure. You know, we've been priding ourselves on our academics, and I believe that our facilities and our athletics are ready to take that leap too. And to have a facility out here connected to our school that gives our students that same feeling of pride, it's going to be priceless. And for the people who played in the past to be able to come back and see that tradition anew, I think is going to be fantastic.
You talked about a very important point. You said the student body and the academic part of it. Through the senior night, through the announcements of all these seniors, you heard where a lot of these student athletes and the band members and the flag bearers and the cheerleaders, where they're going to college, their future endeavors. Just how invigorating is that to know that all these students out here are going on to bigger and better things outside of high school, that they're going to go out to society, become big parts of it, and that it's all because it all happened in those four walls of Speedway High School. It's got to be a great feeling.
It is. You know, our home opener for football season is always fantastic. The graduated students that come back, and I talked to just 3 or 4 tonight who talk about how well prepared they are, how fantastic their teachers were. Even tonight, a couple said how fantastic their classmates were here, that their classmates were a great reason that they looked forward to coming to school each day, and they realize how much better prepared our teachers have made them than their peers away at college. So, yes, that's a huge part of what we do.
Big return on the kickoff to the 49. It's going to give Beech Grove good field position to start their first drive of the fourth quarter. Here with J.P. Claiborne, the principal, Speedway High School. Hey, J.P., what year is this for you?
This is my 8th year at Speedway, 4th year as principal here.
Are there any other projects in the mix that they have to stay under wraps, or is there some more things that are happening that you know about that the community's going to get behind? Because I've realized for the short time I've been here that this community really gravitates around this high school and what you guys represent. is there anything out there that is going to be new and exciting on top of the football facility that might be coming in the near future?
There's a facility here at the football stadium, also looking at making some additions and upgrades to the school itself. I know there's upgrades at some of the other community schools as well. Always looking to continue to build relationships, strengthen relationships with local partners. The track obviously is a big one. But yes, I think there's a lot of exciting potential, right here in Speedway.
Jeremiah Lee on the carry. Kept on his feet for a while, ran about 8 yards to get 1. So it'll be 3rd and a long 8 for Beech Grove here. J.P. Claiborne, the principal of Speedway High School, has to be excited. The turnout this evening has been fantastic. The weather has been equally as nice, a little windy, but I believe we'll take that. And there's another penalty. JP, I think a lot of these refs might be some x-rays on the shoulder with all the flags they've been throwing in this one.
Yeah.
A lot of laundry on this field for this one, and Speedway holding on to a 7-point lead.
Yeah, still the beginning of the season. The guys are still getting used to it. I know Beech Grove has a new coach too, so they're probably feeling some things out. But you're exactly right. A lot of penalties tonight.
As a fan looking at this, JP, is at what week? And Moore fires back. He throws it in the air, and that's going to be intercepted. And now he breaks the grasp, and he's got some room to run, still on his feet. And he's going to take it to about the 42-yard line. Cameron Diggs went up. It was like a jump ball. But Cameron Biggs, also a baseball player. That was irrelevant. That ball was going to the wall. Needed to rob the home run. He got it and took off.
Yeah, but you can see his speed there. He's one of the fastest kids we got. Made a fantastic play there on the ball. It was a jump ball.
Great play by the 6-foot senior. And now Coleman makes a dive, and he's got nothing but real estate in front of him. Pushes a defender to the ground with a stiff arm. My gosh, Derrick Henry-ish on the sideline there from Jazz Coleman. And things starting to pick up here momentum-wise for the Sparkplugs. A 31-yard gain. Couple baseball players on Coach Clampett's team. Logan Moore, the backup cornerback. Lucas DeVault, who's had a great game defensively. He's made some key tackles in this one, also a ball player. Good with the stick, too, 296 average on here, second on the team. Logan Moore, the backup, just a sophomore, led the team with a 317 average. JP, is there football's kind of Indiana's thing, basketball's kind of Indiana's thing. Is there a sport out there that's here at Speedway that say, hey, look at them. That's a good squad that we got.
I think our kids, so many of these kids play multiple sports and are involved in their.
Passing complete. Ball thrown behind from Moreland. He was rolling to his right. Receiver was trying to dive back for it and just couldn't do it. Lost his footing. So incomplete in the end zone.
In the last few years, both boys and girls soccer have been fantastic. Volleyball won a sectional last year. It is a lot of the same kids that go sport to sport. They're great kids with the right priorities, and so that carries over, that team mentality and the work ethic. It makes for a lot of fun seasons year-round.
I'd like you to talk about that, the importance of playing multiple sports. A lot I've realized, you look at some schools in, I'll say it, Texas, Florida, it's concentrate on this and that's it. That's all you're doing. You hear apparently realize that the more you get, the more diversity that you get with the different sports you play, the different friendships, relationships you make within that, helps you become a better athlete, but also a better student at the same time.
Absolutely. It's
that ball fired to the corner, and did he get in? They'll give it to him. Give him 6. Vincent Jean again. Moreland and Jean have had quite the connection and combination, the chemistry that these two have had. In this one, that's Jean's 2nd touchdown. That's his 3rd of the season. And I was talking to Coach Clampett. JP, I kind of state this as, I'm sure you watch the NBA on TNT. Shaq refers to the others on the team. So Coach Clampett was animate about Vincent Jean, about he's one of those players. He's an emotional leader. He's the one that's going to come out and speak up for his teammates, for his coaches, for his school, everything like that. What do you think about the young man, Vincent Jean?
That is a young man that absolutely loves to win and hates to lose. He's going to do whatever he can to put the team in a better position. I'm really impressed with his growth, his character over the last year, moving from a sophomore to upperclassman, and you're seeing the dividends of everything that he's put in for the team. He's definitely been a team first guy. You were talking about our multi-sport athletes, and obviously we're a small school, and so we need our athletes to play multiple sports. But I tell kids when they come to enroll, it's part of what's great about being a Speedway student is that you saw the drum major for the band as a football player. You saw cheerleaders out in the guard. Students even here tonight involved in 2 or 3 things, and I think that's a big part of the Speedway experience that's unique, and that our kids take a lot with them. They're well-rounded people when they leave here.
And that's what you want to do. People have their specialties, they have their talents, they're like that, but when you can go out and make a difference in a lot of different areas, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, in whatever area, that's great that they come to Speedway and have multiple opportunities to do that. It's not just one specific sport or academic service that's presented. It's just a whole variety, and it's good that Speedway offers that. Here with JP Claiborne, the principal of Speedway High School. JP, you want to get back and watch the game?
Absolutely. Been very nice talking
with you. Yeah, I
you.
appreciate it. JP Claiborne, the principal of Speedway High School, happy that his team is up 34-20 after the big connection from Moreland to Vincent Jean. Now up 14 points in the 4th quarter in their home opener, and which is the final home opener here at Johnson Field. Thank you very much to Principal J.P. Claiborne for coming up and spending some time with us on SCTV. JP kind of the rabbit's foot for Sparkplugs. Now here's a pass over the middle, and that one deflected. So Moore had not thrown an interception the entire season. He had the 2 touchdowns, so he was 6-0 touchdown to interception ratio, but his past 2 passes in the air, one has been intercepted, and that one was deflected almost off the fingertips and into the hands of the Sparkplugs. So the Hornets might be pressing a little bit here, down 14 with just under 9 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Moore's got to get to work. And Lee falls down in the background, and that's going to cause the Sparkplugs just to eat up more. Call it a loss of 4. They'll place it at around the 26-yard line. Jeremiah Lee just went down like a sack of potatoes, couldn't get his footing. Caught a spike like a pitcher would on the mound and went down. The play was clearly designed for him because Moore turned around and Lee was on the ground. We're down the sideline. And that ball into empty space was intended for Lacey Stevens, but he was about 5 or 6 yards away from even knowing that ball was thrown. And now it's 4th down, a long way to go. And nothing to do here but punt, being that far deep in their own territory.
4th down, Hornets. The punt for Beech Grove, number 21, Saul Hernandez. Back deep for the Sparkplugs.
So the lone turnover.
Yeah, Coleman.
Well, Beech Grove did get the onside kick attempt. Not sure it was a complete onside attempt. And that's going to be another flag, I believe. And of all the plays that I've seen, and no flag was called on that on Beech Grove, I'm stunned. The near side line looked like they were about 5 yards past the line of scrimmage before that ball was even snapped. But that's why I'm up here and they're down there. So the Sparkplugs will start on Beech Grove's half of the field at the 48. And they're going to try to see if they can't possibly put this one away with another score and make the lead 20 or 21. Moreland, Coleman. Wrapped up. Moreland kept it. Wow, good fake. Gets about 6 yards on that one. Moreland just charged up the middle.
Brought down by number 25, Justin Stewart.
Justin Stewart on the stop.
Six on the play.
So it'll be 2nd and 4
2nd and 4
for the Sparkplugs on Beech Grove's side of the field. Good field position. Just under 7:30 left here in the 4th quarter. Home opener for the Sparkplugs here at Johnson Field. Moreland, Coleman, up the middle, breaks a tackle. Now to the right side, stays on his feet, trying to get to the sideline. He does. He'll get pushed out of bounds at around the 16-yard line. That was Saul Hernandez on the carry. Or on the stop. That was Coleman. I'm sorry. Saul Hernandez was the one who was able to stop him. Not before Coleman racked up a big run out at the 16. And the idea, even though pushed out of bounds, it does stop the clock. There was one benefit. Here's Coleman up the middle now. And good tackle in the backfield by Lacey's number 10, Frankie Wellbrenner, who has been quite everywhere in this one. Wellbrenner, but just a junior, but leads a team coming into this one, had 19 tackles. He's added to that quite extensively tonight. Moreland, Coleman to the right side, got to the sideline, cuts it back in, but he stepped out of bounds at around the 12-yard line. So now 1st and goal after the first down run. Pushed out of bounds at the 6. And this could put the nail in the coffin for the Sparkplugs. Get a 20-point advantage, or at least 21 or 20, with just under 6:30 left here in the 4th quarter. Moreland under center. Coleman up the middle, but met immediately. Lots of white jerseys there to stop Coleman in his tracks. That was Braden Klein to lead the charge. So backs it up a little bit after the loss on the play to be 2nd and 10. 2nd and goal from the 10. Moreland, Jean comes in now. Another threat, Moreland under center for the second straight time. Pitches to Coleman, to the left side, now cuts it in the middle, and he's going to find his way into the end zone for 6. Got flipped around on the final hit there, but give another 6 points to Jazz Coleman. He was going to be the problem coming into this one, and he's expressed that. Jazz Coleman with another 6 points and give another touchdown to the Sparkplugs. The lead now 40-20 with 5:35 left here in the fourth quarter. Haviland on for the extra point. Had a miscue on the handle on the last one. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. So now it's a 3-touchdown game with extra points. 21 is the lead for the Sparkplugs. They've kind of opened it up here in the second half. The Hornets looked like they were creeping back. Had got the lead down to 1, had some momentum. There was the interception, and the Sparkplugs have just kind of been piling it on now, and now the lead 21 with just a little bit over 5:35 left here to go in the fourth quarter. And a home opener for the Sparkplugs senior night. Fans enjoying this one. The band is going. Flag bearers, cheerleaders, enjoying this one tonight. The weather's been spectacular. There will be some things to work on Monday. Right now, you got to be happy with 41 points. Doubling up right now, the Beech Grove Hornets will head home to face Ascena and the Crusaders next week. Speedway stays here and will host Cardinal, Ritter, and the Raiders. So we have one. For JP talking about multi-sports athletes. Haviland, also a soccer player. Coached by his father, Dean Haviland. He's been the coach for many years of the soccer program. He's right that I was able to witness myself a 2-1 victory over Cardinal Ritter in what was a heated match over on the soccer pitch just across from us. You can see it with the lights there just in the background. Right in front of the softball field. What a heated match. The boys soccer team has done well. The girls soccer team started out real well. Had a 19-0 goal differential in their first 2 matches. And they did drop one to Ben Davis, but have played well this season unexpectedly. Coach Stacy Burke in charge of that crew. Here's a run to the outside. And Jeremiah Lee, even though down 21 points, he has had himself one whale of a game. You understand why that Coach Mosley is very high on him. The senior came into this one, leading the conference in rushing yards. 286. He's surely past the 100-yard mark in this one. Couple touchdowns, came in with 4 total touchdowns. 2 in the air, 2 on the ground, has a few today. So he's doing everything he can. It's just that at times, Sparkplugs defense has come to life and stopped the Hornets. That snap low, Moore's got to recollect. In trouble, steps up in the pocket, fires to the outside, incomplete. And once again, Lucas DeVault there to knock that away. Lacey Stevens, the intended receiver. We talked about multi-sport athletes for Sparkplugs, and Beech Grove does have some. I mentioned that Jeremiah Lee, also a basketball player under the tutelage of Coach Dion Smith. Saw Lacey Stevens there, a baseball player. Ryan Kendall, the coach of the Hornets baseball team. Moore over the middle. It's complete, but for a short gain. met immediately. Cordell Martin. He's had a couple receptions today. Some big plays that went his way just off his fingertips. Made a heck of an effort in the back part of the end zone and also on the near side of the field. Just off the fingertips, though. 3rd and 7. Clock continues to run. Approaching 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Another penalty, delay of game. I was about to say we've gone more than 1 minute without a flag, and there we go. So we're back on track. Ball on the 37. And we'll try it again. Just over 4 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Hornets down 21. Moore rolls out, fires downfield, tipped and almost into the hands of Jeremiah Chisholm. Masita Shola tipped it in the air, but Jeremiah Chisholm was right there and almost got the tip ball. Luckily it falls incomplete. Be 4th and a long 12 with under 4 left. Another two-sport athlete, Jeremiah Chisholm, had a decent game tonight. Also a basketball player for Deion Smith. (41-20), the home opener for the Speedway Sparkplugs.
Delay of game penalty against Beech Grove.
Delay of game penalty, move it back 5 yards, so Saul Hernandez.
Saul Hernandez back to punt for Beech Grove, back deep for Speedway. Number 3, Jazz Coleman.
Jazz Coleman around his 37. Punt is away. Better one this time, but takes a bounce forward. And it'll be downed at the Speedway 44. So the offense back on the field after the defensive stop. And we'll probably see a lot of Jazz Coleman on the ground on this drive. Keep the clock moving. 21 points is not insurmountable with 3:48 left. But you don't want to give them any chance. Crazier things have happened in football. So just hold on to the ball, keep it on the ground, and keep that clock running as much as they can. The key to victory was to limit the turnovers from Speedway. They have in this one. Hand off to Coleman up the middle. Breaks a couple tackles. He'll get one, maybe two, to the 45. Dusty Miller on the stop. Got to give credit to Beech Grove's front four. A lot of the runs that Coleman has had that have been effective have been to the outside, sweeps, pitches. When he goes up the middle, they clog it up pretty good. Unfortunately, Coleman has been able to get to the outside one too many times. Moreland under center. Here's a pitch to Coleman to the outside and tripped up again. Minimal gain on that one.
Yeah, Coleman on the carry. Tackle made.
Under 3. Left to go in the 4th quarter. Want to thank our entire Speedway Community TV crew. Brian Pierce directing everything tonight. Thank you, Brian. Camera operators, Zach Taylor, Bill P., and Ted Howlett. Thank you, guys. The coverage has been phenomenal up here in the booth. I thank you tenfold. The views have been fantastic. Well, the fans enjoy it too. Also thank our sponsors, American Legion Post 500, Hunco's Hollinger Racing, Speedway Lions Club, Speedway Public Library, and the ISC Sports Network, in which you can find this game after this one's over on the replay. I'll take a timeout. Make sure to tune in SCTV next week as the Raiders of Cardinal Ritter will be here. Very crucial Indiana Crossroads Conference matchup. Cardinal Ritter was hosting Monrovia this evening. Beech Grove will head home and host Cecina. Cecina and Covenant Christian battling it out. Both teams at 0-2. Something has to give in that one, so one will come away with a victory. Be 1-2. The other will drop to 0-3. The other Indiana Crossroads matchup today was Triton Central hosting Lutheran. So both teams 1-1. Don't want to foreshadow too much, but it looks like the Sparkplugs will move to 2-1 on the season, up 21. Here with under 3 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Be 3rd and 9. Orland and Coleman, as has been the majority of the game, in the backfield. And now we're underway after the timeout. And up the middle, Coleman. He's got some real estate if he can get out there, and they're not going to get him to the pylon. He goes, give him 6. Jazz Coleman wasn't done. 54 yards on the touchdown scamper. And the yardage total and touchdown total just keep ramping up for number 3. Toledo scouts salivating tonight after the performance of number 3, Jazz Coleman. So Joey Havlin on for another extra point. He's been perfect when the ball has been down. Ball is up, kick is up, and it's good. That extends it to a 28-point advantage, 2:03 left in the fourth quarter. And the Sparkplugs. That should be it. 28 points in 2 minutes. Absolute miracle. A lot of miracles happen here in the state of Indiana, but I don't think it's going to happen tonight. Beech Grove came in determined. They'll reset. They'll look at tonight's tape. Coach Mosley, longtime football player, an Arsenal Tech grad, played at Northern Illinois, then Indiana State. So he knows the game. He knows what his student athletes have to clean up. And they'll get back at it next week against Cecina. They just ran into a very, very motivated Sparkplugs team tonight. Home opener, senior night, the final home opener in this field. So there was a lot of emotion and a lot of adrenaline coming from the brown and yellow this evening, and that has shown in a 48-point explosion for the Sparkplugs team. So they'll kick off. Just over 2 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Short and over end, take a bounce. And out of bounds. Looks like Beech Grove will set up around their 26-yard line.
Kickoff travels out of bounds. Hornets take possession. First and 10 on the 35-yard line.
The offense will come out on the field. And it looks like a quarterback change. Enough up the middle to about the 40-yard line. Be a gain of 5. It's Manny Brandon who takes over at quarterback. The junior, 5'8". Here's a handoff, but met in the backfield immediately and dragged down. Good open field tackle by Dawson Ott. Broke through the line and dragged down the runner. And the clock continues to run.
Manny Brandon, number 2, is quarterback for the Hornets.
Clock kicking down. Just make sure to join SCTV next week. Under a minute left. Sparkplugs host Cardinal Ritter. And SCTV pass over to middle, incomplete. Clock will stop with just over 50 ticks left. Pass intended for Cordell Martin. Be sure to check out the YouTube channel, SCTV. Subscribe to it. Lots of community events that also happen on that channel. Led by Brian Pierce. Again, special thanks to Zach Taylor, Bill P., and Ted Hallett for all the great Crammer shots that we've had on this September 6th on a beautiful Friday evening. And a good-looking ball, and that was caught. Good touch by Manny Brandon on that one. Cordell Martin finally gets a big one. He's been close, but Manny Brandon put that ball right in the breadbasket for a big gain. First and 10 at the 31. Brandon again. Now fires to the other side. And almost a one-handed grab by Jeremiah Chisholm. Just couldn't reel it in. It hit his left hand. He tried to reel it in. Just couldn't get it. 28 ticks left. And this could be the final play of the evening. I'm sure if Speedway gets the ball back, they'll cordially take the knee, and that'll end this one. Ball fired over the middle, and that'll fall incomplete. Heavy pressure from Speedway. Thought that was fourth down. There was some. That's third down now. Brandon, handoff up the middle. Good juke move now to the outside. Has some room to run. Can he get to the corner? He may find the end zone, and he give him 6. Good running by Nate Ruth, just a freshman. Even with 20 seconds left, the young freshman comes in, takes a bump at the line of scrimmage, gets to the outside, uses his speed, and puts 6 on the board for Beech Grove. That is one thing you just love to see from a team that's down this many late in the fourth quarter. Everybody's still giving it their go. And the young freshman has to be happy about that one. Gets the carry here, trying to get the 2-point conversion. Can't do it there. But credit to Nate Ruth for still playing hard through the clock. And to put another 6 points on the board for Beech Grove. See that a lot. Multiple sports here in the state of Indiana. Doesn't matter how much time is left and what the score may be, is that these kids continue to give it their all, and Nate Ruth just epitomized that. On that run, a 31-yard scamper to the end zone for 6. I can tell you, those are the plays where Coach Mosley's going to say, hey, if you're giving that to me in the fourth quarter, there may be opportunities for you in the first and second as well. So 13.6 left on the clock. Speedway up by 22. It's been pretty much all Speedway up until that touchdown here in the second half. Beech Grove have cut the lead to 1. And then really the key of everything was the interception by Moore. That led to a touchdown immediately after that. Sparkplugs just continued to add from there, and Beech Grove had no answer. Hornets will line up for the final kickoff of this evening. Run out, posted at 40. Coleman around his 26, 25-yard line. I don't know if they'll get tricky, risking injury on an onside kick, and they don't. Just kick it and fall down at the 29. With 12 seconds exactly left in this one. Everybody up in the booth with me here today, score operators, PA announcers. The alleged president, from what I heard, is up here. Just a great group of people up here, and I feel very welcome. The hospitality has been great on behalf of Speedway, so I want to thank everybody here. Dan Maple, the athletic director. And me come up here and call this game, which has been an absolute pleasure. Thank Brian Pierce for having me do the play-by-play today. They'll take a knee. And the clock will drop under 10. And they'll just let this one run out. And there is your final whistle. Let the crowd decide that one, and that'll do it. The Sparkplugs defeat the Hornets 48-26, and Speedway moves to 2-1. And Beech Grove drops to 1-2. On behalf of our entire crew at SCTV and Speedway High School, I'm John Natali, and we thank you for tuning in into tonight's Indiana Crossroads Conference matchup. Your final from Johnson Field, Speedway 48 and Beech Grove 26. Enjoy the weekend, everyone.